dog without a bone, an actor out alone, riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road, his brain is swirling like the code. Take a long
The Ferrari 365 GTB4, better known as the Daytona, is the most iconic 70s GT Ferrari there is. Sought after by many, but so difficult to find truly exceptional examples. And this car ticks every box. Extremely attractive and desirable colour combination. More history than you could literally shake a stick at. Stacks and stacks of it. Fully restored 20 years ago, but maintained and kept in Concours winning condition since. But the story behind the car is equally as interesting. This car is one of 158 UK supplied Daytonas. It has a very rare option of air conditioning, which is because its ultimate destination was going to be South Africa. Initially it was collected by a friend of the owner, Robert Gibson, who at the time was a student at Edinburgh University. He'd keep the car in Edinburgh for 6 months, although not using it because he was terrified of it. He then, at the end of the 6 months, drove it down to London, had the car serviced by Maranello concessionaires, drove onto the docks, put the car on the boat, got on the boat with the car, and took it to South Africa. When he arrived in South Africa, he handed the car over to Pat Spencer on the docks, gave him the keys, and Pat Spencer would jump in it immediately and drive it 600 miles to his hometown of Kimberley. In South Africa, the car would remain until the late 80s, when it was finally brought back to the UK. Now that's really key to this car, because it meant that it spent the majority of its early life in a very dry, warm, kind climate, meaning the car remained in exceptional original condition, with very little rot or corrosion prevailing in the difficult years of the 70s and 80s, when most cars would have been used excessively. Once back in the UK, the car was bought by David Bolam. David is very famous for being a multi-concours winner with his Daytona and his 246 Dino. The car had been restored for him by Foskers Engineering, sympathetically, because it was very original, but crucially, totally detail correct. And that's why it won so many awards. Since then, it's been stored and maintained regardless of cost, is absolutely on the button, and its history file has been kept completely up to date. Therefore, this creates an opportunity to purchase what we think is possibly one of the best right-hand drive Daytonas in existence. It ticks all the boxes in terms of specification, originality, correctness, low mileage, documentation, and of course the all-important Class K certification.